little more than 2 hours ago. Stephen McDaniel, the man accused of murdering Mercer Law grad Lauren.
Judge Philip Brown will continue to preside over the death penalty case against Stephen McDaniel.
On June 26, 2011, around 4:30 a.m., the stillness of the early morning was shattered by an act of unspeakable violence. Lauren Giddings, in the sanctuary of her own home, became the victim of a brutal attack that ended her life far too soon. Living just next door, Stephen Mark McDaniel, a fellow graduate of Mercer University's law school and someone Lauren considered a neighbor, if not a friend, harbored a sinister obsession.
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. No one has seen her since Saturday.
McDaniel, equipped with a master key and shrouded in the anonymity of a mask and gloves, crossed the threshold into Lauren's apartment. His intentions were malevolent, his actions monstrous. Lauren's bedroom, a place where dreams and aspirations should find rest, became the scene of her tragic demise. McDaniel's hands, instruments of fatal strangulation, silenced Lauren's voice forever. In the hours that followed, McDaniel's depravity deepened as he dismembered Lauren's body in the bathroom, a space now tainted with the echoes of unspeakable horror. With chilling precision, he discarded most of her remains in a dumpster on campus, an attempt to erase the evidence of his heinous crime. Only her torso, disposed of in a trash can outside the apartment complex, remained as a somber testament to the atrocity committed. As dawn broke and the day progressed, an unsettling silence enveloped Lauren's world. Unbeknownst to her friends and family, their vibrant Lauren, full of life and dreams, had been cruelly taken from them. When Lauren was reported missing on June 30th, the search for her unveiled a grim discovery that confirmed the worst fears of all who knew her: the recovery of her torso, while bringing a tragic closure to her disappearance, opened a Pandora's box of questions, anger, and profound grief. McDaniel, attempting to weave a narrative of concern and innocence, spoke to WGXA in an interview that would later become a haunting window into his guilt.
WGXA first interviewed McDaniel the day after Lauren Giddings was reported missing in June of 2011.
The mention of the torso's discovery during the live interview stripped him of his facade, revealing the depth of his deception.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of, I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you heard anything? Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
The investigation into Lauren's murder intensified, with law enforcement piecing together the puzzle of her final hours. McDaniel's voluntary statement to the police and the subsequent search of his apartment unveiled chilling evidence of his culpability. A hacksaw, an emblem of the brutality inflicted upon Lauren, linked McDaniel irrevocably to the crime. As the community of Macon and the larger public grappled with the horror of Lauren's murder, questions about the nature of evil, the loss of potential, and the quest for justice lingered heavily in the air. The aftermath of this tragedy would unfold over the years, revealing the complex layers of a case that would leave an indelible mark on all it touched. Further legal troubles. After the gruesome discovery of Lauren's remains, the city of Macon was enveloped in a palpable shroud of mourning and disbelief. The legal community of Mercer University, once a beacon of hope and ambition for Lauren, became a focal point for collective grief and a quest for justice. Stephen McDaniel, meanwhile, found himself entangled in a web of his own making. Initial denials and feigned ignorance quickly crumbled under the weight of forensic evidence and his own erratic behaviors post-discovery. The interview that was meant to paint him as a concerned friend instead cast a spotlight on his guilt, his shock upon hearing of the torso's discovery betraying his intimate knowledge of the crime. As investigators pieced together the timeline of Lauren's final hours, the evidence against McDaniel began to mount. The use of his master key to gain entry into Lauren's apartment, the premeditation of his disguise with gloves and a mask, and the chilling, methodical nature of his crime presented a damning case against him. McDaniel's descent from law student to accused murderer was a harrowing tale of betrayal and darkness hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. The investigation deepens. The investigation into Lauren Giddings' murder was a meticulous endeavor, combining advanced forensic analysis with traditional detective work. The luminol test in Lauren's apartment, revealing the hidden traces of her final struggle, painted a gruesome picture of her last moments. Investigators, determined to uncover the truth, sifted through garbage, combed through McDaniel's digital footprints, and gathered testimonies from neighbors and friends. The discovery of the hacksaw, which matched the one found in McDaniel's possession, was a critical piece of evidence linking him to the dismemberment of Lauren's body. Digital evidence further implicated McDaniel, revealing a disturbing pattern of stalking and an obsession with violence that predated the murder. The legal battle and plea deal. As the case against McDaniel solidified, the legal proceedings took center stage. McDaniel, facing the overwhelming evidence of his guilt, was presented with a plea deal that spared him the death penalty in exchange for a full confession and a life sentence with the possibility of parole.
I just gotta ask you a few more questions. Okay. You came down earlier tonight, me and you talked, all right. You don't have any weapons on you, do you?
No.
That's just you are. What's wrong? You know Detective Patterson, right?
Yes.
Do you remember? Put your hands up here. You remember us talking? I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes.
Okay. Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay? Was you friends with her?
Yes.
I'm asking you for help. I need your help. Can you help me?
This decision, fraught with moral and legal complexities, opened a contentious debate on justice, punishment, and the possibility of redemption. McDaniel's confession, a chilling recount of the events leading to Lauren's murder, offered a glimpse into the mind of a killer. Yet it left many questions unanswered and provided little solace to those who mourned Lauren. The plea deal, while ensuring McDaniel's incarceration, also highlighted the limitations of the legal system in providing closure to the families of victims.
Well, after his guilty plea in the murder of Mercer Law student Lauren Giddings, we continue to get new glimpses into the psyche of Stephen McDaniel.
The aftermath and Lauren's legacy, the sentencing of Stephen McDaniel, marked the end of a legal chapter but not the closure of the wounds inflicted by Lauren's murder. Her family, in seeking to honor her memory, became advocates for victims' rights, emphasizing the importance of community awareness and safety. Scholarships in Lauren's name were established, aiming to support aspiring lawyers who embodied her passion for justice and her kind spirit. The community of Macon, forever changed by the tragedy, found ways to commemorate Lauren's life, from memorials at Mercer University to annual charity events. These acts of remembrance and resilience served not only as a testament to Lauren's impact, but also as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of loss. Reflections on Justice and Memory of the Murder of Lauren Giddings is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the shadows that lurk within seemingly ordinary lives. Stephen McDaniel's life sentence, while a legal resolution, opens broader reflections on the nature of justice, the process of healing, and the ways in which communities come together in the aftermath of tragedy. Lauren's legacy, embodied in the scholarships, memorials, and advocacy in her name, continues to inspire and impact lives. In the face of unimaginable loss, the pursuit of justice and the act of remembrance become powerful testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit.